Puerto Rico heading for a housing market crash? I've invested in hundreds of real estate deals on the island of Puerto Rico, and today I'll be sharing my own experience, separating the facts from the hype and the clickbait. This isn't about what could happen, it's about what's really going on right now. Let's break it down! Let me give you the case for a crash. Number one, interest rates. Everybody knows that borrowing money on the island of Puerto Rico is difficult. The lending programs that we love in the States don't really work as well here on the island of Puerto Rico. But the good news is, recently interest rates have been dropping. Will it continue? Will it stop? Who knows what's going to happen with this new Trump guy coming into office.
Don't be rude.
If Trump doesn't print money and interest rates start ticking back up, will that hurt the demand on the island of Puerto Rico? Maybe. But the lending problem on the island is more than just about interest rates. So interest rates affect the cost of properties way more in the States than they do on the island. We pay higher interest rates in Puerto Rico year in and year out anyways. What really hurts the market for the island of Puerto Rico is just the lack of lending products altogether. So let me give you an example. I was recently looking at a multi-unit property in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The numbers, they looked pretty good until you factor in today's debt cost or the inability to actually borrow money against the asset. So that deal actually fell apart because I couldn't make the returns pencil out when I had to get a cash-on-cash return, basically because we couldn't borrow against this cash-flowing asset. And if rates climb up again, it's going to get even worse. Number two, local economies and affordability pressures. So then there's the local economy, where Puerto Ricans' median income is only about $22,000 a year. Yet real estate prices in some areas have skyrocketed. The gap between what buyers can afford and what sellers are asking is growing. And when affordability gets squeezed like this, guys, something has to give. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a crash island-wide. At least not necessarily, because there's a lot more to this story. All right, now let's talk about my case against the crash. We have low inventory on the island, and we have a relatively high demand. One big reason that I think a full-on crash is unlikely is inventory. There just aren't enough homes on the market to meet demand. People still want to live here, they want to vacation here, they want to invest here. And because of the lack of homes that are available, that competition is keeping prices stable, if not trending up. I recently saw this play out with another property I was looking at in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. It hit the market, it had multiple offers in just a few days and sold above asking price and, by the way, above appraised value for cash. Does that sound like a market where buyers are running scared to you? The second thing that I'm going to talk about, that I'm going to make the case for why the market's going to continue to go well, tourism and remote worker boom. Puerto Rico's not just for locals anymore. I know I'm going to get some hate over that. But here's the truth. The island has become a hotspot for remote workers and digital nomads. When you combine that with a booming tourism economy and short-term rental demand is stronger than ever, I don't see this tourism boom stopping anytime soon either, because the island is so focused on increasing the amount of tourists who come to the island every year. It has increased the wages for people who are in that kind of economy. It has seen many people who can work from anywhere now decide that moving to the island of Puerto Rico is a really good thing. And in fact, the population is growing for the first time in over a decade. So these are really good signs that the real estate market is going to continue to go up unless we can do something about the housing supply. And we've got another video on that and how you, the local investor, can be a part of the solution and solve the housing crisis. Recently, we've been getting back to our roots and investing in small multifamily properties for long-term rents. So even though there's a booming economy inside of the tourism industry, we're also seeing plenty of demand for the long-term rentals. The island has started to reward investing in this way through Act 182, and so I see that as a big positive for the island, and I think that it's going to be something that's going to help the island with its housing crisis. Does that mean that it's all smooth sailing? Not quite. Let's talk about the market realities and what most people that aren't here on the island, or even those that are here on the island, even some of you who are commenting on this video right now, this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Puerto Rico's not just one market. San Juan's luxury condos and the expensive housing in Old San Juan, or the Gringo lands in Dorado and Palmas del Mar, are completely different than investing in housing everywhere else on the island. The properties that are likely to struggle are those luxury properties and overpriced flips in soft areas and deals that rely on cheap financing. Guys, there's no such thing as cheap financing on the island of Puerto Rico, unfortunately. I'm sorry. The properties that are going to win, affordable, value-add real estate projects and cash-flowing long-term rental plays that are going to meet the island demand and are going to put locals back in houses. We recently completed a 12-unit apartment building in Rio Piedras. We spent too much money on the renovations, but we bought it really well. Because we bought it well, we were able to absorb the higher renovation costs. We now have the property fully rented and it cash flows pretty well. It's a long-term rental. We're providing housing for some students and families who live in the area. Those kind of real estate investment plays are always going to be successful on the island of Puerto Rico. And if COVID proved anything, come hell or high water, people are going to pay for their houses. They're going to pay their rents and they're going to do their damnedest to pay their mortgages. As they should, as we all should. Look, I want to know what you're thinking about this. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Leave a comment below. Do you believe Puerto Rico's headed for a crash? Or is the island just getting started? Let's get a healthy conversation going. Don't just tell me gringo go home.
Puerto Rico is a beautiful place. I love Puerto Rico. You love Puerto Rico. We love gringos. You know, it's about sharing the culture.
Here's the truth, or at least the truth that I believe in. Puerto Rico's full of opportunity. If you're playing the long game, this island has 3 key things that are going for it. Number 1, it's got low inventory. We have a housing crisis. Over 250,000 houses are needed to support the families who want to live in them. Number 2, we continue to have a growing demand from cash buyers, tourists, and remote workers. Number 3, this is my favorite. This is why I'm going to be on the island for the foreseeable future. There's just so much value add opportunity. Everywhere you look, no matter the type of neighborhood you're in, if you're in a high-end neighborhood like Dorado Beach East, or if you're just in a working class neighborhood, there are properties on the block that need renovation. They're zombie houses. They're left, they're forgotten, they're abandoned, and they can be bought at reasonably good prices, fixed up, and then put back on the market. By the way, there's more than 250,000 of these eyesores on the island, so the housing crisis can be fixed just by renovating these properties that already exist. Remember this, real estate investor, if you're forcing the equity, if you're doing the value-add real estate investment, and you're building cash flow along the way, you're going to thrive in any market. It really doesn't matter if prices go up or go down or stay sideways. Value-add deals are where smart investors are winning right now. So, is Puerto Rico heading for a housing crash? My answer, no. But I do believe that parts of the market are going to correct. Overpriced luxury homes, I wouldn't want to be investing in those. Believe it or not, they'll get hit. Speculative flips where the buyers have paid too much. Remember, as real estate investors, you make your money when you buy. So be careful what you pay on the front end going in. But if you're investing in the right deals, affordable rentals, value-add properties, with strong cash flow and strong cash flowing properties, you're going to be fine. In fact, you're going to be way ahead of the curve. You're going to be ahead of everybody else when the dust settles. If you're serious about investing in Puerto Rico, or anywhere else for that matter, then the time to take action is now. I'm building a community of real estate investors in our school group, where we share deals and strategies to help each other win. The link is in the description. You can join for free. When you get over there, if you send me a direct message, mention this video, we can set up a strategy call. These calls normally cost $500, but I'll give it to you for free for mentioning this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're pushing towards 20,000 people on YouTube. Thanks a lot.